Let's make some stick puppets. Today I'm going to show you two different kinds of stick puppets. One is coloring, one is collage. Both are very easy, inexpensive, and kids love it. Design is very simple. A decorated front, glued to a simple back, with a straw in the middle. I do this one with kindergartners and this one with first grade, but this also makes a great camp craft or a home craft. It's a great rainy day summer project. We're going to start with the draw your face coloring version first. And these are all some simple examples of mine. And this is one that a student left behind. I'll show you more examples on the side. These can be so much fun. I have two different kinds of faces. I have one set that I put together just by finding blank coloring pages on the internet. You want to make sure you have both boys and girls with a wide range of hairstyles. I also have a big set that I drew myself. Both finding them online and drawing them yourselves are very easy to do, but if you would like a copy of my files, I'm happy to send them to you. I just need you to send me an email that I can send them to. And make sure you tell me that you're looking for the puppet lesson, because people contact me all the time saying, I need those files, but they don't tell me which lesson. Here's an example of how I took one of the templates that I made, colored it in to make a face for this video. Here's another one of my drawings. As you can see from the examples on the side, you can use markers, crayons, pencils, and this is adaptable to every skill level. Even a toddler is going to enjoy this. Next, we're just going to cut this out. If cutting around the face precisely is going to be too much for your littles, I like to just draw a simple line around all the details. Just make a sort of simplified oval. Makes it much easier for them to cut. Now you need a straw and a back. Now I have a wonderful helper who comes in and cuts these so neatly and even folds these in half for me. But if you don't have a wonderful helper, any rectangle will do. There we go. As long as it is smaller than the face. The trick here is to get them to put the glue on the backing paper. What they're going to want to do is put the glue here and put the straw in it, and then they're very confused that that doesn't hold. But I really try to get them to go all over. We want to go all over the whole back, cover the whole thing. This is going to be much stronger. And then we're going to make a sandwich. The straw goes in the middle, paper goes on the back, and there you have a stick puppet. One thing you do have to watch for, though, is the minute they have a puppet in their hand, they're going to want to start playing. And sometimes they get a little rough. So to discourage them from running around the art room, waving their puppet in other people's faces, I always tell them, well, now your puppet needs a friend. Most of my kindergartners end up making 2, sometimes 3 puppets in a class. Next up, we're going to go with some collage, which is a little more complicated, but you can decide just how complicated, how much prep work you're going to do, or how much you want to put on the students. You can go with realistic skin tones or use whatever crazy colors you want. You can buy these pads of multicultural faces. This is what I used to use, but now I just buy the multicultural construction paper and have the students cut out their own faces using stencils. I keep a lot of these on hand, and you will notice that they all say pattern on them or face. This is to keep students from actually gluing things to this pattern. One of the things I'm teaching in this lesson is how to use a template or a stencil to trace and cut to get the shapes we want. If you want to skip that step, you can use those face pads, or you can pre-cut shapes for them. And like I said, it doesn't have to be actual human colors. I usually have my first graders cut their own, but I had all these pre-cut for my special education students. You can easily cut a stack of 4 or 5 at a time, so pre-cutting really doesn't take that long. You have the same choice with the hair. You can give them stencils to trace, or you can give them pre-cut hair to choose from. As you can see, I have once again written hair or pattern all over these so that my students understand that this is just a template. This is a stencil that we're going to trace. We're not actually going to glue this onto the puppet. This can be a tricky concept for the younger kids, and actually when I teach collage to adults, they also have a problem with it. But that's one of the concepts that I'm teaching, that this represents the shape we want to make. This is not actually what we're going to glue down. Making the hair stencils is very easy. I usually just use a folder because it's colorful and just the weight that I need. Start by tracing out the top of the head so you get the right size and shape. Be sure to have some overlap so you can glue it on. You want to have a variety of different styles and make sure you have things that are clearly boy hair. I actually get a lot of complaint from boys who claim they can't find any boy hair. This spiky one is a favorite for boys. A lot of the girls want long hair, but you do have to be careful when you make a pattern that you actually have paper big enough to trace this pattern on. Usually I'm giving them half sheets or quarter sheets of construction paper for things like this, but I do keep some full sheets for students who want long hair. Once you've got a variety of these, you just cut them out, and I always add a note to mark it as a pattern. I've been using the same patterns for 8 years, but I always end up making a few more each year just for loss and damage. If you want to save time, or you're working at a lower skill level that's not ready for stencils, you can make a lot of pre-cut hair. I usually try to avoid a lot of pre-cutting, but it honestly doesn't take that long. Even though I have dozens of types of hairstyles, I still have students who don't find what they're looking for, or they just want to make their own. I've got plenty of paper for that as well. Sometimes they ask me, do I have to use these? Of course not. You can make whatever you want. And of course, that problem solving and planning, and also the serendipity of discovery, is what I'm really looking for with this project and all projects. The next thing you need here is, of course, face parts. I pre-cut in both natural and fantasy colors, all sorts of noses, mouths, eyes, lots of eyes. Usually I keep my eyes in a separate bin, but the students really like digging through and finding the pieces that they want to use. Again, they can cut out their own or draw them on as they please. Then we get our glue stick, construct our face, and add our details. And just like the other version, we're going to put glue all over the back, straw in the middle, and then put on our back. And there we go. As I said at the beginning, this is such a great lesson for summer camp, short classes when you have early release. It's a great filler project between big projects. It can be tied to lessons about puppetry throughout the world. For older kids, you could add a body. This is really just the starting point. There's just so much more that you could do with this, with both littles and older kids. I'm Heidi Howe. There's so much more on my channel, and I'm eager to see what your class does with this idea. You can post pictures in the comments here or on my Facebook channel.